Hello, and welcome to an episode of Todd Talks. When Todd Talks, people listen. Hopefully, today, I'm not saying I'm not excited, but I literally just spent like the last half hour, 40 minutes or so, learning about the next combatants for the next death battle. And dear gosh, anime, stop being so complicated. Okay, calming down. Because today we are talking about Sasuke from Naruto versus Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho, which, by the way, is the first Yu Yu Hakusho character ever in Death Battle. So congrats, Yu Yu Hakusho. I also want to know that I unintentionally got Hiei mixed up with another anime series called Tenchi Muyo because I thought I'd watched Yu Yu Hakusho before because it was on Toonami once upon a time. No, that was totally a different thing. Thankfully, I rebounded, and now we can move on. So yes, this is another of those highly requested matchups that have been asked for by Death Battle for a while, and now is the time we're going to get it. And if Naruto Ishigo gave us any indication of what we can expect, this fight's going to be brutal and awesome all at the same time. So let's get it started because I have a feeling this is going to be a long one. Even though I know like none of the terminology. Okay, I'm just letting you know, Naruto fans. I never watched the show. I'm sorry, and it was never for me. I've never watched Yu Yu Hakusho, so I only know the terms loosely. I'm going to mess up a whole bunch of things, so just forgive me on that. All right. I mean, they use ki, right? No, I'm joking. It's chakra. So first up, Sasuke. Sasuke was one of the children of the Ushida clan, who was both a very powerful clan, yet outsiders in Konoha, even though they were one of the reasons that Konoha even existed in the first place. Society, what are you going to do? So, as it would turn out, Sasuke, along with his brother Ichi, if I remember the name right. Sorry, there's so many words to throw around here. Ichi were like basically prodigies. They were the destined ones to lead their clan and to potentially lead Konoha into the future. And one day, as Sasuke comes home, his brother Ichi he kills everybody. He killed the clan. He killed their parents. He almost killed Sasuke, but he said he wasn't worthy enough to do so. And doing so set Sasuke on a mission of revenge, one that would almost encompass his whole life because of his personal feelings and emotions on the subject. Not the least of which is that multiple times during the original Naruto series, he went and faced Ichi, but lost. And every time he just kept getting more driven, more determined to be stronger, to be better than his brother, to defeat him and get his revenge. And in doing so, he kind of became a bit of a dick. So, which is something you're probably going to hear at least one more time before the episode is over. What I mean by that is that because he knew before the massacre that he was a good student. He was getting good grades in ninja school. He was getting praised by his teachers, and his brother, though he didn't want to show it at times for reasons I'll get to, praised him for his talent. Even though he wasn't on Ichi's level, he still praised him. And this led to Sasuke knowing that he was better than everyone else, more or less. And so when Ichi did his thing and Sasuke had to continue his training at ninja school, he wasn't exactly the best of friends. I mean, if you were so imagine this is Sasuke's power level right here, right? If you were even like that to him, okay, like very small difference, he'd ignore you. He wouldn't even give you the time of day, right? And then if you were like one of his teachers or a rival or something like that, and he put you and you were like even like just that above him, he would do everything in his power to be better than you because he can't stand not being strong enough to do what is necessary. And of course, when Naruto shows up and basically declares he's going to be Sasuke's rival, he's both amused and annoyed because he's like, "You're not even on my level," which we all know isn't true now, but back then it was that kind of thing. Because of his personality and knowledge of his skills, he was willing to just abandon everybody. Multiple times in the Naruto series, he left the school, Naruto, Sakura, all of them, because he felt that they were weighing him down, including after having a very successful run in Team 7, where they defeated many foes. That he thought, okay, maybe I am getting stronger with them. He fights Ichi, he loses. He's like, no, screw this. This isn't working. I'm out. And then this would start a long and dangerous path for Sasuke, where he became basically a cursed shinobi, a criminal even, and I mean like literal criminal. He was doing some bad things. He even took like a snake master, which oh crap, it was a Orobarochi or something like that. It was a snake guy, and he trained under that guy for 3 years just to learn all his techniques and then kill the guy. You know, when he finally got the chance. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's anime. What are you gonna do? And no matter, but then he got even grander aspirations. He's like, no, I don't just need to be stronger and then kill my brother, which he did. He needs to, be the Hokage of Konoha. And then when that was enough, he's like, I need to be the overseer of the universe because he apparently has that power, kind of, sorta. Anime, what are you gonna do? Oh man. So this whole path that he was on from start to finish was just one of just desire and revenge and power, which of course put him at odds with Naruto, who constantly felt that he was a friend and he could be the friend or brother that, people like Naruto or Sakura, who was of course in love with Sasuke. Because yeah, I was gonna make so many jokes here, but I'll just save it because we're already 6 minutes in. Um, he kept fighting to save Sasuke, even when Sasuke was just like, dude, I'm so over you. Get over this. In fact, he actually had a chance to kill Naruto once and refused because he knew that it was what his brother Ichi wanted. And he refuses to do anything that somebody actually wants him to do. Um, Now, in battle, yeah, this is where the words come in. In battle, Sasuke is revered as one of, if not the, technically, strongest shinobi in the world. His power rivals Naruto's, which is an important point. I'll get to that later, though. He has numerous techniques that he can use at his disposal. He has fire release techniques. He was able to use fusion to combine water and air to do ice, which if you remember the Weiss Mitsuru battle, is an impressive feat. He has lightning powers, which he can even use to summon lightning dragons to his battlefield. He has his chakra, which he can use various kinds of ninjutsu, senjutsu, genjutsu, and numerous other techniques, including but not limited to shadow clones, code breaking, which is another feat which I'll get to in a bit. He can create swords and imbue them with energy. He can, like I mentioned, he can summon lightning dragons because of his time with Oroborichi or whatever the snake guy's name is. He actually learned to turn his arms into snakes, which is creepy. And he can do like snake traps and all that. It's really creepy. He even has an ability where he can shed his skin, basically, and like negate all the damage. So it's basically like a substitution technique. So there's that. Um, and then, not unlike Naruto, he has a whole bunch of modes that he can go into, many of which increase his power. One of them is the code breaking, which I noted earlier. He has the ability to use his abilities. He has the ability to actually travel through dimensions. Uh, think like Thanos when he came out in Avengers Infinity War through the portal, like that kind of a thing. Stupid hair. No? No? Better. Okay, so you gotta have the hair on point. So he has that. He has numerable abilities like Susanoo. Susanoo is basically a rival for the tail beasts, which of course is why he can go toe to toe with Naruto multiple times. He has abilities within that, including an arrow attack, which is stated to be one of, if not the most powerful technique in the history of the Naruto series. That's crazy, but it's true. He also has a substitution technique, which he can use via his time dimensional powers to actually. Let me give you an example. This is Shrifi. Waiting for the camera. There you go. This is Shrifi. Okay, and this is my Shazam cup. All right. So basically, what he can do is that as long as he has a visual confirmation of the person in his area, he can swap them with him in the blink of an eye. If you watch Boruto, you'll know that he used this technique recently, or somewhat recently in the series, when he was teaming with Naruto to beat a bad guy. He was wrapped up in a chain. The bad guy was coming at him to attack, and in the blink of an eye, they swapped places, and then Sasuke went in and did an attack, which is awesome. Yeah, and that battle sequence, by the way, is considered one of the greatest anime sequences of all time. So there you go. Anyway, so Sasuke's abilities are insane, and arguably his greatest feat is the fighting, beating, and tying of Naruto. And if you recall Naruto versus Ichigo Kurosagi, Naruto is dope. Okay. I mean, even for him being a typical anime protagonist, and having a demon in his belly, he is able to, survive an attack that could blow up the moon. He has enough energy to blow enough chakra in him to blow a crater that was massive in size and survive that explosion. Um, he has massive chakra reserves, and Sasuke can go toe to toe with him. In their legendary final battle to basically end the series, Naruto and Sasuke fought so hard and so powerfully they not only blew up an island, they basically blew up each other's arms. Like each of them lost an arm. Let's see if I remember correctly. Naruto lost his right arm and Sasuke lost his left. So they were that powerful and that endurant that all those attacks, and the only thing they did to each other was blow up their arms. All right? That's crazy. Okay? So as you can see, Sasuke is not your ordinary guy. And eventually, via Naruto and Sakura and his friends, his true friends, he was able to get the redemption that he needed, even though he went on basically on a walkabout to get more redemption afterwards. But whatever, he was pardoned for his crimes. He became a key protector to Konoha, and he helped Naruto, who had become Hokage because of his efforts, to protect the world. He eventually got married to Sakura, had a daughter who's now friends with Boruto, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Sasuke had. It took a while, but he became the character that he needed to be, and it's going to be interesting to see him in the fight. All right, next up, Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. So Hiei was born from an unholy union. Stop me if that sounds familiar. Between a fire demon and an ice demon, or an ice lady, I guess is. It's anime. Dear gosh. Also, I'm getting a sore on my hand. So as you might expect, this unholy union wasn't really good because it shouldn't have happened, and so the ice ladies, in their infinite wisdom, decided, hey, let's just take the baby, wrap him up in a seal, and just drop him off of the island. This island, by the way, is in the sky, so that baby fell all the way down to earth. Splat, death, end. Right? Wrong. So he survived, and he was eventually found out by bandits who raised him for a little while and trained him for a little while, and he became one of the most ruthless killers in all the world. So yeah, and that's just the beginning of his story. This was before he met Yusuke and joined the Spear Detective team and all that. So Hiei is complicated, just to say the least. He desires revenge against his parents for what they did to him, especially the Ice Ladies, which I'll get to in a bit. But he also desires to be stronger because he is a demon, okay? Unlike Sasuke, he is actually a demon because, he was born of a demon and an Ice Lady. And so his rank upon birth was C class, and his powers emanate from his ranking, which is complicated, but it's gonna get there, trust me. So, upon his training and upon meeting Yusuke and certain other characters, he decided he needed to get even stronger to both fulfill his goal of finding his mother and father, and then just being totally epic. So this is where he got the Shaganai. Just imagine there's an eye there. He got this from a demon chiropractor. Okay, he's also a doctor, but the wiki I said he was a demon chiropractor doctor. Yeah. Because man, when you're torturing people, man, them demons, they pop their spines into joking. So through the Jaganai, he has numerous abilities, including transformation abilities. I'll get to that later. He has the ability to spy on people. So you think Big Brother is bad, wait till you see Hiei. He can spy up to 10 kilometers away. He can read people's minds, erase memories, prevent mental attacks on him. He can do telekinesis, control energy. It's a lot. And so eventually he went and found the place where he was born. Found out his mother had killed herself after understanding what she and the others had done to the child, because she didn't know he was alive. And when he realized that the Ice Ladies were just literally cold-hearted women that just led meaningless lives, he was done with them. He literally just turned and walked away. Even when one of them realized, the lady who actually dropped him off the island, realized who he was and begged him to kill her, so because of what she did to him, he's just like, meh, and walks. So eventually he finds out that he has a twin sister who was actually looking for him, and so um, he went out to protect her, although he can't tell her that he's her twin brother because of the promise he made to the demon chiropractor. That was actually his payment, was that he couldn't tell his sister who he was, which he was fine with. He wasn't going to tell her anyway, but still. And of course, throughout his journeys, throughout his travels, throughout his fights, he got stronger, and eventually he became actually a guide through the demon world, so that if any humans actually came to the demon world on accident, which happens a lot, anime, he would guide them back to their world, erase their memories so that they didn't remember him, and then let them on their way. So yeah, he's complicated. He also short. Sorry, Edward. That was an Edward joke. He's 4'10", and yet his physique is something that you would expect in like a massive bodybuilder. Okay, in like the lean muscular sense, all right? And his strength, speed, and capabilities are extraordinary on its own. Then you add the demon powers, then you add the Jaganai, and you got a really strong guy. All right, he's a master swordsman, which he learned both with the bandits and via training with other um, entities. He has the ability to control fire and summon fire and ice, and at least that's how I read it. And he can actually summon demon energy to do certain things, including summoning a massive black dragon, which at one point was thought to be impossible because it was supposed to destroy their body, but it didn't for Hiei. As mentioned, he has telekinetic abilities. He has incredible strength and speed. He moves so fast at one time that he slashed a bad guy 16 times in the blink of an eye. And they actually thought he teleported when he did it, which is ironic because he can teleport. He learned that later. But no, he's just blindingly fast. He also is incredibly endurant. He actually got chopped in half one time and was like, okay. He also has his own transformation techniques, including being able to absorb the black dragon, which I mentioned earlier, and increase his power. He can transform it via the Jaganai into this, like, if you remember the many-eyed monster from Power Rangers, he basically turns into a green form of that and can actually paralyze foes with his gaze, etc., etc. And it's just a lot. And then that was just, his basic powers, right? I mean, there's still so much more. Like, he gets some of the dragon energy into a blade, which he actually hates to use because it's not artsy enough. He has massive power output, and what I keep talking about, like the class ranks, he eventually became a very high-ranking demon because of his powers. Now, when he got the Jaganai, it actually lowered his power level, but when he built it back up, he was able to take out multiple A-class and S-class demons. During one training session, his trainer told him to go out and do like a survival test. She threw 500 A-class demons at him, and he won. So, and then he later on chopped off like an S-class demon's head off. This right there. So, yeah, his power is kind of insane. Now, his weakness is not unlike Sasuke's. He's incredibly arrogant, and he's not a strategist. He literally charges into battle just trying to overwhelm his opponent, and it does, get him chopped in half occasionally. But most times it works. Like, he's at times defeated demons so easily, it's almost comical. Like, he once blew up in half of an arena just with one attack. He was able to defeat a team of enemies all on his own. It's almost scary how powerful he is, and he just keeps finding ways to get stronger. So, yeah, anime, everybody. So, where does that leave us with Sasuke versus Hiei? The obvious answer is to go Sasuke. Sasuke is as strong, is as fast as Naruto, which is important because Naruto is arguably one of the strongest characters ever put into death battle, and we know his feats because of his battle with Ichigo. We know, so by that we can estimate that Naruto can survive a blast that can cut the moon in half. So Sasuke could too. We know that because of their many transformation abilities, their six paths mode, which Sasuke has a version of, they can continually amp up their powers. So that means their power output is incredible. Which again was proven when they helped destroy an island. All right. We know that their speed is faster than lightning, or even faster than the speed of light, because there's a light speed Lugia attack, if you recall. So we know that Sasuke is faster than that. And so technique wise, via all his training, there is no doubt that Sasuke is more diverse in tactics than Hiei. Hiei has a lot of attacks, but because of his ninja training and his own, training rigor, like with the snake guy and everything else, Sasuke has more attacks than Hiei. I don't think that's in dispute. But here's the problem. First, there's a couple problems, actually. Usually I would go with like the strategist, because while Sasuke does run into things, he does it in a very calculating manner. He doesn't plan for a battle, but he does like to change his tactics on the fly to adapt to a situation. So usually I would go with that kind of a figure. But here's the problem. Number one, in terms of elemental attacks, Sasuke prefers to use fire, ice, and lightning, right? The problem is that because Hiei is a ice lady fire demon spawn, he's resistant to all of that. And there was an attack that actually in the Yu Yu Hakusho, which was used to freeze a massive beast into an ice cube, was done on a Hiei and did nothing. He was exposed to an infernal flame attack, and it did nothing because of his parentage. So while lightning is just a pure form of fire. I mean, even Fairy Tail agrees with that. Lightning, fire, dragon mode. So there is no reason to think that Sasuke's fire, ice, or lightning attacks, which are numerous, would hurt him. But that's just obviously one attack, because Sasuke knows how to use blades too. He can just chop him up, right? Well, that's not exactly true. As far as I could tell in Naruto, the basics in terms of mental attacks are limited. And again, this is just what I remember from Naruto and the Naruto death battle, and what I know of Naruto as a series. Sasuke has the ability to go into a person's subconscious at points and do certain things. Okay, like when he went into Naruto's head to subdue Kurama. Okay, this is known. But that's about it. As far as I can tell, there's never been a mental domination attack on an opponent. Because if there was, then everybody would use it, and a lot of ninja attacks would be pointless, because why would you do ninja attacks when all you need to do is just, mind bend them into submission, which would have worked on Naruto an infinite amount of times, I'm sure. So when it comes to Hiei, who A has defenses against mental attacks, and B can do his own mental attacks, that kind of causes a problem. Not to mention, as we mentioned, or as I mentioned earlier, his Jigenai can read minds, okay? And he could see for miles around, like at least 10 miles, because a kilometer is like 1.3 miles or something like that. So at least 10 miles. And Sasuke would never go that far to try and kill Hiei. So he's always going to have perfect awareness of where Sasuke is, either through his mind or just seeing him with the Jigenai, which he keeps concealed via the band. All right, so Sasuke wouldn't even think to go for that, because he's like, oh, he's just got another eye. What do I care? All right, and so, which also leads me to the other problem. It specifically stated that Hiei can erase memories, which he has done multiple times in Yu Yu Hakusho, both to those willing and unwilling. While he may not ever technically use that in battle, he's not opposed to it per se. Like I did not find a specific case where he didn't use it, where he used it in a battle. But if he can use it at all, that technically means he can use it in a battle. So all he really needs is to just look at Sasuke and just erase his mind. All right, because if he can't remember how to do any of his attacks, how can he fight? Now, there is also the question of, blinding speed. I do not think that Hiei is faster than Sasuke, but Hiei can teleport, which you would infer to be faster than light. So, and if you can read Sasuke's mind, which we know he can, he can predict all his attacks. Even the substitution technique, which is awesome, wouldn't matter if Hiei can teleport. So yeah, you switch. Oh, look, the momentum's still going. Boom, he's gone. Stab. All right. So while it may be slightly an underdog pick, and I should, be careful because I just did a bias pick. Based on what I found, and a certain fan who kind of said that he has got this in the bag, I'm gonna have to go with Hiei. I think that even though Sasuke is more versatile and arguably stronger and faster, I think Hiei's got just enough specialist ability to win. Because for the record, I cannot tell you. I can gauge Sasuke's abilities by Naruto because I know Naruto's abilities. I cannot gauge Hiei's because I don't. The wikis that I saw, even though it talked about all these incredible feats, it's hard to gauge them. Like I read a respect thread that said technically he's planetary level destruction, but I don't know if that's true. All right, because that's just based on interpretation of facts. All right, so, but based on what I'm seeing, I think Hiei has this. So I'm picking Hiei for this death battle. And with that, I'm ending this episode of Todd Talk. Who do you think is going to win the battle between Sasuke and Hiei coming up next week? Do let me know in the comments below. I almost said the contents below, but that would work too, I suppose. Then the comments below. And of course, next week when the death battle finally comes, I will be here to break it down and hopefully be back in the winning column. I'm still weeping over Dragonzord. So, I thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I know you were listening, and I will see you around.